Hello, race fans. Welcome into another episode of the Turn 5 Racing Podcast, brought to you weekly on YouTube, podbean.com, over at Race Chaser Online and Speed 77 Radio, and brought to us by our sponsors, brought to you by our sponsors, Creekside Entertainment, the official DJ and photo booth of the Turn 5 Podcast, and Penn Yan Electronics down on Main Street in beautiful downtown Penn Yan. Steve Ovens here, sitting alongside Clint Miller. B-Rad is, his GPS has not been set to the Casa de Pork Chop Studios. He's out working a little overtime tonight, so Clint's just you and me tonight, brother.
What's up, brother? How you doing tonight?
Well, Mother Nature needs to take a hike, bro.
Yeah.
At least some places were able to get in over the weekend, but man, Mother Nature's got to take a hike.
Yeah, she wasn't very favorable last weekend, and it doesn't look good for this weekend either.
No, I mean,
she's not a race fan, obviously.
Obviously, she's not a race fan. I'm sitting here saying, man, what are we going to do for next week's show? Looks like she's going to try and rain all week long, but we do have some results to talk about. Let's get to those right off the bat here. And also on tonight's show, got a lot of interviews from over at Yates County Speedway. A lot of good interviews.
Very successful practice night.
Very good practice night. Mother Nature intervened, of course, making her presence known. But really, overall, not bad. The guys that were there at least got one good session in. And the guys that only got one good session was really by choice. A couple guys just wanted to get the car out there, make sure everything was tightened up real good, and shake the car down a little bit. Other guys were able to get a couple sessions. As I talk to them, and as you guys will hear, maybe not a ton of information they can take from the practice night, just because of the wet weather, the track conditions, which the track, other than being wet and being rained on while we were trying to practice, the track was awesome, not rough. Didn't tear up, and they had all sorts of cars out there, anywhere from a 305 Sprint to Sportsman, Street Stock,
IMCA Modified.
There was even a 600 Micro there. I don't believe there was any late models. I don't recall seeing any late models there. 4-cylinder, front-wheel drive, we had it all over there at the Yates County Speedway, so we will be getting to those interviews in a little bit. But let's talk race results, Clint. Let's go over to the Woodhull Raceway. Got their show in on Saturday. Opening night for the 370 Modifieds. That night being sponsored by Insinger Performance. 21 Modifieds filled the pit area. Pulling down the first win of the year, Bobby Davis got the win over Eric Fisher. Alan Rudalovich, Brady Fultz, and Kenny Peoples Jr. rounded out the top 5. 6 through 10 was Donnie Lawson, Frank Dunning, Stacy Jackson, Grant Hilfiger, and Josh Nebriga. And you look at that top 10, Clint, those are the guys you're going to be looking for.
They're going to be in the top 10 every week.
Each and every week.
They're going to run up there, and barring something happens. A couple notes from the modified race is I talked to Kenny Peoples today on my lunch hour, and he said that Bobby Davis is running a Roush Yates power plant. Picked it up Friday morning, put it in the car Friday night.
Nice.
Did have a couple carburetor issues. Of course, that it was cold, and
oh yeah,
and I'm sure that when they put the motor on the dyno in North Carolina, it was probably 70 degrees, 75 degrees, and also Billy Van Pelt was running second place in his new ride owned by Art Goodyear. I think it's Art Goodyear.
Hilfiger.
Oh, okay, Grant Hilfiger.
That's a second Grant Hilfiger car.
Sorry, my bad. But he was running second, and the car just lost power going into turn 3, and so don't really know what there is. But, Billy Van Pelt, cream rising to the top, so as always. Yeah.
Not a bad field of modifieds there. You got to think, too, you look at, 21 modifieds, Thunder Mountain is putting a big deal together this year. Brett Deo is taking over as promoter of that track. So you got to figure that, you know, when you look at Saturday nights with modifieds, you've got 5 Mile Point, you've got Thunder Mountain starts this coming week, and Woodhull. So you're really pulling from
three different
tracks.
We'd have to look at Skyline. I almost think Skyline's gone back to modifieds this year too.
Okay.
Somebody at work was telling me that he thought the modifieds were running at Skyline, so that might be something that we want to pull up and take a little peek at, because they did get their racing in Saturday night as well.
We will definitely pull that up and take a peek. Next up, the S&W Awards and Photos, 360 late models. And Clint, how about it? 15 cars and getting the first win of the year, second time he's ever been on the racetrack down at the High Banks. Adam DePay in the Skylar chassis, number 99, getting his first win for Jim and Sharon Skylar. I don't think the party has ended down in Himrod yet.
No, I'm sure.
Or in Macedon, for that matter.
I'm sure the music is loud and the laughing's going on, and congratulations to Jim and Sharon. If there's a guy that's been so dedicated to the BRP tour pretty much since it's taken off, it's Jim, and he deserves all the any of the good things that come his way. He's done a lot of work on the cars, and he does his own little bits on the chassis to make him a Skylar chassis. So yeah, congratulations to those guys and the Himrod Hot Rod.
Definitely. And you look at Adam, not a bad start for home track points. Getting a 4th place last week and a win this week. Not looking too bad. And the thing you have to remember as well, yes, John Waters won last week, but John Waters is not going to be running a full schedule at the Woodhull Raceway. So great run for Adam. That's good. That's a really big deal for those guys, not only for Woodhull, but for the BRP Tour as well. He beat out Dave DuBois, Jason McGregor, Glenn Rittenauer, and Steve LeBaron was your top 5. 6 through 10, Bruce Miller, Mike Wonderling, Josh Smith, Carl Hughes, and that was...
And Jared Hill rounding out the top 10.
And Jared Hill rounded out the top 10, that's right. I know Jared and those guys had a lot of problems, broken shock, and just trying to get the...
bugs, just getting the bugs
getting
worked out
those bugs worked out early on in the season, so... Those guys will be looking for more as the weeks come on. Napa Crate Sportsman, 24 cars. Healthy field of sportsmen there at Woodhull. That seems to be a consistent thing we see. And picking up his first career sportsman win in style.
Turn 5 alum.
Turn 5 alumni. Made a thrilling pass on the outside to overtake second place and then to take over the lead. And by the way, he beat out last year's points champion to get the win. Dylan Groover. Congratulations, Dylan. His father, Dwayne, and his uncle, Billy Van Pelt, the whole team putting that 12X in victory lane for his first career sportsman win. Dylan Groover got the win. Chris Doherty was second. Russell Morseman was third. Steve Hartman, fourth. And
the ageless wonder.
The ageless wonder, Steve Hartman, coming home in fourth. And 2013 Empire 100 winner Corey Costa, who's moved up to the Sportsman, rounded out your top 5. 6 through 10 was John Hargrave, Jake Deegan, Mike Buchanan, Ray Smith, and Brett Bono rounded out the top 10.
I actually think Mike Jackson was 7th, Jake Deegan. I think that was a misprint in the...
yeah. You know what? You're completely right. That was the correction that was made in there.
Yep. I think Mike Jackson pointed it out on Facebook, and it was corrected right away.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. What's his name? The PR guy for Woodhull. How do you pronounce his last name?
Mr. Harkenrider.
Harkenrider, that's it.
Yes.
For correcting that quickly. And
yeah, he was on that very quickly. Hey, things happen.
They do.
Absolutely. All right. So that was the Napa Crate Sportsman. Now let's move on to the Joe Wilcox Performance Street Stocks. These guys were racing for an extra $200, bumping the winner's pay up to $425 for last week's event. Total of 9 cars came out for the Street Stocks, and picking up the feature win as first of the year, Jared Dennis came home with victorious over Teddy Morseman. Gary Archer came home 3rd, Trevor Tompkins 4th, and Kane Stebbins rounded out the top 5. The rest of 6 through 9 was Tracy Dunn, who we'll hear from here in a little bit. Rich Sharpsteen, who we'll also hear from. Richie had some problems out there at Woodhull, and you know, you look at it and probably better to have that problem going down at Woodhull.
Yep.
You know, trying to work the early season bugs out than to have it happen at Yates County this week.
Yeah,
so.
for a couple of reasons. I mean, obviously, Yates County Speedway is a lot faster. So, you know, something breaks like what he broke, you know, a front spindle by looks of it, or I don't really know what it was that broke, but you're going a lot faster. You're going to tear up more stuff, possibly tear up somebody else.
Yeah.
Which you have that option anyway. But also
or somebody driving over you when it breaks.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, they're not running for points at Woodhull Raceway. So, you know, to have it happen there where they're not running for points instead of at Black Rock where they're starting out behind the 8-ball, because I got to believe that Black Rock's going to have plenty of street stocks. So
yeah,
you know, so there is.
I would expect them to.
So there is a silver lining to that cloud for Rich and the guys at the Backyardigans.
Yeah. Yep. You got it. Richie was 7th, and then 8th was Chad Sindani, and 9th was Brett Marlott. We also talked to Tracy Dunn Friday over at Yates County Speedway at practice night. His plans right now are to run both tracks full time, Yates County and Woodhull.
Wow.
So we'll see him at both places. Signs Plus Mini Stocks, 11 cars out in action. And picking up his second win in a row, Jason Gleason took the win in the Mini Stocks. Josh Collins was second, Brian Grant third, John Hand fourth, Mike Navone in fifth. 6 through 10 was Rick Amadon, Travis McDonald, Mike Kozer, Derek Puryear, and Chris Hand rounded out the top 10. Woodhull Auto Supply front-wheel drives, 12 cars in attendance. We talked about this guy last week, running the Prisoners of War Missing in Action and supporting our troops ride. Ryan Austin took that car to Victory Lane on Saturday night, getting his first win of the year. Jake McConnell was second, Joe Birdsell third, Matt Prescott fourth, Adam Del Grosso rounded out your top 5. 6 through 10 was Nate Freeland, Eric Farnham, Carl LeBaron, Sean Gleason, and Wesley Hotelin. That is all of the results from the Woodhull Raceway. Coming up this week, got a big 6 show with a 35-lap feature for the Joe Wilcox Performance Street Stocks, and that was a topic of discussion Friday night over at Yates County. A lot of the street stock guys that can make the changes to go down to Woodhull are looking to do so for that 35-lap special down there. Mm-hmm. As you may remember, in 2013, it was Brett Marlott that took that win. Teddy Morseman, Jeremy Potrzebowski, Richie Sharpsteen, and Kane Stebbins was the top 5 last year for that special. So should be a good show down there at Woodhull.
I hope so. It's really disheartening to see the 9 cars because generally the street stocks always put on a good show at Woodhull.
Yeah,
and I'm like you said. I think there's you got 5 Mile Point, Skyline. There's a bunch of tracks that run on Saturday night, and I just hope that there's guys out there that just don't have their car done, and would like to see even if you get up to 14 or 15 cars, they generally put on a good show and for the fans. And
well, and it always brings up the discussion of at what point do we try and get everybody together, and when I say everybody, get a lot of tracks together and say, what can we do to get these guys on the same page as far as the rules go? I know it's a different time now, but I think back to the days when you guys were running the super stocks. Mm-hmm. Back in that time, there was a lot of cross-promotion, and Richie Sharpsteen will tell us about in his interview how they used to have a combined point fund to encourage guys to go back and forth. And I think right now it's just I think the rules packages for even Dundee and for Woodhull, those are the closest two together. The rules packages are just a little too far apart, and I feel like maybe there's some guys that feel like they have to make that choice. And then when you have Greg's Auto Body come on board and say $500 to win every week, I mean, that even pulled guys like Jared, who's running the late model full time. He's got a street stock. Hey, I might as well go over and run $500 to win.
Yeah, not running the late model full time at Black Rock. So
I just think it's a discussion. And I don't own a racetrack. I don't promote a racetrack. I don't even own a race car. But I just think maybe it's time to start having these discussions to say, what can we do to make sure that both sides win?
Yeah, I mean, because like back, when we used to race the super stock at Black Rock, if we rained out at Black Rock, usually all we had to do was, get a set of tires from somebody and go over, and that'd be the only change that we'd have to make. It's just a set of tires, and the rules are quite a bit different. They're really not, they're really far apart, and it's simple things. Black Rock is allowed to run jack and bolts. You have to run. They're a manual cup, a spring cup, that you have to jack the car up, drop the rear end down, make your changes, and it's just so time consuming.
Yeah,
and it's a little thing that it's not a performance advantage, and if you think about it, look at the last few winners of the Empire 100. They've been Woodhull regulars that have come to Black Rock with their Woodhull cars and won. So how much different is it to just say, if you're legal for Black Rock, you don't even have to say, okay, you have to run our rules, because there's not a big performance advantage as long as you're Black Rock legal. Come over and give it a shot.
Oh yeah.
So it's Todd Burgess has always had, he's always been a proponent of the more you change, the more money you make racers spend. And I just don't know if that's the case in this point, because I don't think the Black Rock cars have that big an advantage over the Woodhull cars.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that.
All right. Fair enough. I think it's a great discussion, and, hopefully.
And just to throw this out there, Woodhull also doesn't allow leaf spring cars.
Okay.
And it's getting harder and harder to get the metric chassis. And so the Camaro unibody isn't allowed, and there's a lot of cars that run leaf springs.
Do run that. Yeah.
So,
yep. Well, let's shift gears here a little bit and go over to the World of Outlaws sprint cars. They had their race Friday night at the Salina High Banks out in Oklahoma, and getting quick time and then backing it up with a win. Joey Saldana took home the win in the 24-lap event. The race was shortened due to track conditions, but Joey Saldana took home the $10,000 win. Second place, Kerry Madsen in the American Racing 29. Third place, Craig Kinzer. Fourth was Paul McMahon.
Paul's to the wall.
Paul's to the wall. McMahon comes home fourth. Rounding out the top five, Cody Dara. Another strong run. He needs it. 6 through 10 was the King, Steve Kinzer, Darren Pittman, David Gravel, Donnie Schatz in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 was Brad Sweet. Next night, Saturday night, over to the Federated Auto Parts Speedway at I-55. And Clint, I know you tuned into this one.
I did.
And 40 laps for the A-Main. And again, another quick time for Joey Saldana, racking up those points. And after this event, Saturday night, took over the points lead. But getting the win and getting off the schneid, and I saw numbers today. It was he has over 290 feature wins. Sammy Swindell took home the $10,000 win. And for all of our stat folks out there, 33 out of the last 37 race seasons for the World of Outlaws, Sammy Swindell has a win.
Wow,
so he added to that number.
Like him or not, that's pretty impressive.
That is not something you can shake a stick at. Sammy came home with the win. Joey Saldana was second. Donnie Schatz with a strong run in third. David Gravel with another good run came in fourth.
Really fast at the end of the race.
Coming on strong at the end.
Yes, he was.
Darren Pittman rounded out the top five. 6 through 10 was Kerry Madsen with a great recovery.
He was on his roof.
Yep.
With about, he was on his roof with 15 laps or 20 laps to go, roughly, right in there.
Coming home seventh was Paul's to the wall McMahon. Eighth was Craig Kinzer. Ninth was the King, Steve Kinzer. And rounding out the top 10, your hard charger of the night, Jacob Allen.
And, man, I got to tell you, that was fun to watch Jacob Allen race. He hasn't done a whole lot. It's their first year, him and his teammate Logan Schuhart. He's really struggled. He had health issues early in the year, but he's gotten a little faster each week, and we keep watching him, and he was going from not qualifying to now he's running good in the B main. He went from 10th to 2nd in the B main, and then he starts 22nd in the feature, and with 13 laps to go, he was running 5th. That's
what you told me.
He had passed Donnie Schatz for 5th, and they had a caution come out, and his either his tires glazed over, or the guys like Schatz, the master, and Pittman, and those guys made their wing adjustments or whatever.
Sure.
But he tires went away, whatever. But he faded to 10th. But man, I tell you, it was fun watching him because he was about 4 inches off the bottom all the way around, and it was really cool.
That's awesome. It seems like now is, maybe early on in the season had the health problems. They had problems just keeping Logan's car together. Maybe now it's like, okay, Jacob, go out and run it. Let's see what you got. And boy, that's got to do that team a world of good.
Yeah, I'm an underdog guy anyway, and to see him run up towards the front and get into the top 10, it's pretty cool.
That's great. Sticking with the sprint cars, let's go over to the Empire Super Sprints, sponsored by Lucas Oil. They had their first event of the year out at the Can-Am Raceway Park, and taking home the win, the Motorman, Sean Donath, who also collected the halfway bonus. He took home the win. Corey Sparks was your hard charger, going from 14th to 2nd. Last year's points champion, Steve Poirier, came home 3rd. Tommy Wickham was 4th, and Jay-Z, Jessica Zemkin, rounded out the top 5. 6 through 10 was Elaine Bergeron, Zach Wygand, Etienne Girard, Matt Tanner, and Jeff Cook rounded out the top 10 out there at Can-Am. Of note, see Joe Trank is in there at 11th, and Jason Barney with a tough night in 15th. And I was reading online that Paul Kinney and the Cobra, Chuck Hebing, both had some problems, and they finished 21st and 22nd, respectively. I think Cobra had some brake problems, and Paul's car just shut off at one point.
Can I do another of note?
Absolutely.
And a sad of note.
Okay.
There's no 17J in the ESS rundown.
I did look at that. So I think we can assume that the cutting back is official.
I think that'll do it.
Yep. So
answer some questions.
We will see him locally. I'm sure of that. And I know of one show in particular that I'm pretty sure we'll see him at out there at Yates County. So that's from the Empire Super Sprints. One other bit of results that we have here. World of Outlaw late models were out in Farmer City, Illinois for the Illini 100, and they had the first time that they had somebody from the hometown take home the win, and that was Shannon Babb, who picked up $20,050 for the 100-lap win. Darrell Lanigan came home 2nd. Bobby Pierce was 3rd. T-Mac brought home $5,700 and 4th in a good run for T-Mac. Rick Eckert, scrub in his first outing with the Rocket chassis car, came home to round out the top 5. And we talked about that. Brandon Shepard, who is going to be stepping aside, and he came home 10th, but he's going to be stepping aside, and Rick Eckert is going to be filling the void in that one car. Brandon Shepard's got a new baby at home in Illinois, and for the time that he's been running the Rocket house car, he's been working on race cars out of their shop, and being away from family and everything has got to be a hard time. And one thing we wondered, we really don't know what happened to Josh Richards, and we hope whatever is going on that he is getting well and we'll get back out to the racetrack soon. But the thing with Brandon Shepard, you have to wonder if maybe he thought that filling in was going to be a short-term thing, and it's just turned out to be a little bit longer than he wanted to be away from home, and nobody can blame him there, that's for sure.
No, so family takes precedence. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. And for Rick Eckert, what a deal. I mean, he's been running his own deal the last couple seasons, and now he's on the Rocket house car. So that's a really good deal for him.
A little shout out to T-Mac, starting 6th, finishing 4th.
Yes, sir.
bringing home $5,700 for a ninth, fourth place finish.
Those guys are coming on. They're coming on strong. The wins are coming. You keep running in the top 5. The wins are coming. So that's all the results we have. We've got some great interviews from out at the Yates County Speedway. We're going to go off to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hear from all the drivers we were able to catch up at the Yates County Speedway.
You're listening
to Turn 5. Penn Yan Electronics is the official Radio Shack dealer of the Turn 5 Racing Podcast. They're also the only Radio Shack dealer in the Penn Yan area. Visit them at 103 Main Street in beautiful downtown Penn Yan for all of your electronics, cable, music, and cell phone needs. Visit Penn Yan Electronics or give them a call, 315-536-7700. Penn Yan Electronics. RaceChaserOnline.com is your home for news, views, and driver interviews. You can catch everything from F1 to IndyCar, NASCAR, short track, and dirt car. You can also find them on Speed 77 Radio Mondays on Shoutcast. Catch Motorsports Madness live at 7 p.m. and the Stock Car Steel SRI Motorsports Report Thursdays at 7 p.m. Race Chaser Online. Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ and photo booth of the Turn 5 Racing Podcast. If you need karaoke for your bar or party, or if you need the photo booth to create memories that'll last a lifetime, give Stu a call at 315-481-9700, or you can find him on Facebook, search Creekside Entertainment, or find him on the World Wide Web, www.creeksideentertainmentdj.com.
Your dirt track home for news, discussion, and driver interviews, along with race results. You're listening to Turn 5.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Turn 5 Racing Podcast, brought to you weekly by Penn Yan Electronics, Creekside Entertainment, the official DJ and photo booth of the Turn 5 Podcast, and Race Chaser Online, Speed 77 Radio. Clint, we've got interviews from Yates County Speedway. Thank you to all the drivers that I was able to catch up with out there. Everybody was willing to give an interview. We even caught up with a new face that we've never seen at Black Rock, or now Yates County as it's known. A lot of guys have been there for years, and some guys that I wasn't sure would give an interview. So it was a lot of fun out there. And we're going to roll into those interviews, and we're going to start off with Jared Hill and Tracy Dunn. We're pit side over here at Yates County Speedway, getting things kicked off, and as fate would have it, Mother Nature is trying to intervene here. And I'm standing here with a couple drivers that already been out on the track. And Jared, I know you've already got your bad luck out of the way right here at Hot Lap night.
Yeah, I got a flat right rear tire in Hot Laps. They had a little bit of a brake issue. We'll figure it out. Probably not going to take any more sessions. The weather don't look like it's going to help us out at all.
Yeah, now tonight you got the street stock over here. How did it feel otherwise?
It felt pretty good. A little snug in the middle, but it felt like I had a lot more forward drive than I had in the past. Felt pretty good.
How was the track?
A little wet and narrow right now, but he'll get it figured out and we'll be good.
Well, the other driver we got standing here with us is Tracy Dunn, driver of the 21 car, and I'm going to ask you the same question. How was things coming off the trailer tonight?
Not too bad. Spent a lot of time in the shop this week rescaling it, setting it up. Woodhull was a disaster last week, so trying a little something different.
Now, I know, I think the last time we saw you out here, you guys were doing some work on the carburetor or something of that sort. How was that tonight? You guys got those things sorted out?
It's a different motor. Carburetor issues still a little bit, still skipping, so have to get it figured out.
Now, when you guys come here today for this hot lap session, is there anything that's on your list of things that you want to get accomplished today, other than just getting the car out and get it running?
Just making sure it's going to drive, the brakes are going to work, it's going to turn in. No major issues. Let's get it shooken down.
What are the goals for this year?
Realistically, like to run, every week, get some top fives, maybe a win along the way, and finish the top 5 in points.
And full-time here and at Woodhull, or just Woodhull on occasion?
Full-time both places.
All right. Well, there's a couple of drivers over here pit side. Going to take a look at the rides. We're going to see what Mother Nature does here, sprinkling on and off, and we'll walk around here and catch up with some more drivers. Back pit side here at Yates County Speedway. Opening night with the hot lap session, and I'm going to get to talk to Jeremy Potrzebowski. And how is it out there? I know the weather conditions certainly play a factor into what you see tonight, but what are the goals for tonight?
Just basically shake down the car. We made a few changes this year to make sure that we ain't going to have any problems, and make sure the engine stays together.
I know one thing that I'm sure you guys are looking for. I know you guys had a lot of hard luck early on last year. I'm sure that's one thing you guys are looking for this year, is to come out of the box strong.
Yeah, that would be a blessing in itself. We did a lot of damage trying to run the RLC in the beginning of the year, and then came here and had a few bad luck. So hopefully we can keep things on the straight and narrow and have a much better season this year.
Good deal. A lot of the conversation I know has been, street stocks, trying to go from track to track. Give our listeners a little bit of an idea of just how much your car here for Yates County would have to change to run someplace else.
Basically, it's kind of track to track type deal, but if I was to go down towards the Binghamton area and run down there, I would have to take the front jack and bolts out of my car and move my engine back, because we set it back 1.5 inches. I believe, to my knowledge, that's all I'd have to change to go there. To go to Woodhull right now, I'd have to do a ton of changes to go over there, including shocks, jack and bolts. And it's a pretty big list, and other than that, the rest of the car is legal for everywhere else we race.
Cool. And obviously a big deal for here at Dundee this year is the sponsorship with Greg's Auto Body for the street stocks. 500 to win every week. Got a lot of guys talking about coming here.
Yeah, there's a big buzz about this place over the increased purse, so, it makes it exciting. It'll be nice to race against the full field of cars, and, I like doing that. It's a lot better than racing with, 10, 12 cars, so hopefully, it pans out and everybody makes out good out of the whole deal.
All right, well, enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you back here next week for opening night.
Yes, sir. Thank you again.
All right, that's Jeremy Potrzebowski, driver of the T1 Street Stock. They're getting their car cleaned up. Not sure if they're going to be able to make another session or so. Mother Nature seems to be intervening once again with us here in Dundee, and we'll see who else we can catch up with here across the way. Getting ready to pull the Packer trucks out, try and get the track work back in. Still got some rain falling here. Going to catch up with a couple of the Greg's Auto Body street stock drivers here, Jeremy Trank and Nate Daggett. Nate, been out. How many sessions did you get out there tonight?
2.
And how's everything working so far?
It's all still together, so far so good.
I know after the way last year ended, I know that's definitely something to keep in mind tonight, is just keeping everything together. Is there anything you guys can take from tonight other than just coming out, shaking it down, make sure everything is all bolted together right?
Not really, but having an opportunity to do this with new cars and stuff is a big advantage, because there's so much to them that you can forget or leave loose, or something that could go wrong you're not expecting, and definitely it helps out.
And looking toward next week, opening night, and certainly the rest of the season, been a lot of buzz about the street stock division here, that increased purse. I'm sure that's something that a lot of competitors have been talking about this year.
Yeah, I think it's really going to help the class a lot. I'm hoping it gets to be where it used to be, 24 cars and real competitive racing, and I hope it comes back.
All right, well, that's Nate Daggett, driver of the 3D. I'm going to step over here and talk to Jeremy Trank. And Jeremy, first laps in the street stock here. What do you think so far?
Well, it's pretty different than a front-wheel drive, but handled it pretty good, I think, and got a little pointers from Rich Sharpsteen and handled it pretty good.
He knows a few things about getting around here.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit.
Now, what are you guys looking for this year? I know it's going to be your first year in the street stock. What are the goals going into the season?
Biggest thing is just finish races and be there mid-pack. Maybe we can sneak in top 5 every now and then. Who knows?
Always be there at the finish and let the points and all that stuff take care of itself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, as we watch the rainfall here, I'm not sure if we're going to get back out there, but I know you got a lot of people supporting you on the 15K, and give you the opportunity to talk about those guys.
I definitely got to thank Roger Smith and Billy Beer Goggles, Richie, my mom, and Donnie, my dad and Lori, girlfriend Leah and Kendra, everybody that helps out. I mean, can't thank them enough to help you get out here and be able to do what we do.
Takes a big supporting cast to do it. So we're going to come across the driveway here to see if we can't catch up with driver of the Flying X. As the rain starts to pick up a little bit, going to catch up with the driver of the Flying X Street Stock here at Yates County Speedway, Rich Sharpsteen. Rich, you said you went out in the first session, so how's things going so far?
Good. We already been out once this year at a 5 Mile Point, and we had some issues there, and we just wanted to come make sure we got them cleared up. So really a few laps is all we needed. We're planning on going over to Woodhull tomorrow night to give it another try. We've been sitting around too long this winter. We're all anxious to go racing now. Yeah, Mother Nature's not been real kind to anybody in the racing industry here the last couple weeks. We've had a lot of success at Woodhull in the past, you know, with the 4-cylinder, and now moving up to the street stock the last couple of years. What is it about Woodhull that you've liked so much in the past? I just like the one thing I like about Woodhull is it's a driver's track, and it's a lot of fun to race. It's more of a backwoods style dirt track racing where you got to fight the car around the track, and you don't have to. The fastest car don't always win, where the best handling car over there normally wins at the end of the night. And it's just if you can get your car to go around Woodhull successful, you can go just about any place and run up front. And tomorrow night, see, they jacked up the purse. Got a little added bonus for tomorrow night. I think they were paying something like $450 to win tomorrow night. You guys heard about that at all? No, I didn't, but I'm liking that, especially now that we're going. Actually, we were going over tomorrow night to get ready, because next week I guess they got a special too, so maybe we'll have to make a couple more trips over now. Yeah, I know that the May 3rd show, Saturday, was going to be a 35-lap affair, and if I read the press release correctly, I think they added 200 to this week's purse, try to get some more cars to come in there. That's good. I'd like to see that place succeed as well as this one. I wish we could get the two tracks on the same page like back in the day and have the combined point fund and stuff like that to get their cars to come over here and us to go over there, because it's a lot of fun to race both places, and if they do something to make it worth your while to go both places, I think you'd see both tracks increase in car count, as well as the more cars you get, the more crowd you get. Yeah. Well, it'll certainly be interesting to see what happens this year over here at Yates County. I think I'm going to have to just start calling it Dundee now. Yeah, I always slip up with the old BlackRock name, and that's why I just go with Dundee. I can't wait. I'm excited for the changes. I think it's exactly what this place needed, and any change is a good change, is what we keep saying. There was nothing that could have gone on to make this track go backwards from the road it was headed down, and I'm excited to see what comes this season. We're excited to see what happens here as well here at Yates County Speedway. Thank you, Rich, for your time, and you guys can catch those guys here at Dundee and occasionally over at Woodhull as well. You're listening to Turn 5.
Well, there you have it, Clint. Talking to a few of our Greg's Auto Body street stock drivers over there at Yates County Speedway. And
buzz.
Oh, a lot of buzz, man. And I mean, let's start from the top. You know, Jared has got the street stock out there. Is going to run Friday nights. You know, why not? 500 to win.
And he lives right across the way.
Yeah, you could find a guy closer to the racetrack. Tracy Dunn's out there. We talked about him planning on running both tracks, Woodhull and Yates County, full time. Nate Daggett shaking out the car. They ended the year on a real sour note last year with the motor going south during the heat race for the Empire 100. They didn't even get to run the feature. And then also talking to a Rookie of the Year contender, Jeremy Trank, in the 15K. He didn't look bad out there. It's obviously just hot lap night. But the thing that I was talking to Brad about, Brad was there with me Friday night. The thing we were talking about with Jeremy's been driving a front-wheel drive car. Now you're sticking him in a rear-wheel drive street stock. So that's definitely going to take some adjusting to get used to for Jeremy. But I still think he can contend for top 10s, and like he said, on those nights when we've hit the setup right, who knows? Maybe we can run for top 5s as well. And I think those are some realistic goals for that team going into the year. We also talked to Jeremy Potrzebowski about changing over. And, we just talked about it, Clint. Trying to get some of these cars to go to Woodhull on Saturday nights has just kind of been a tough deal because of what they have to change over. So I think Jeremy hit that nail right on the head, as well as Richie. Richie talked about that too.
Yeah, Richie seems to be a good spokesperson for the class, and obviously he wants to see both tracks prosper. He wants to see the street stock class prosper. And Jeremy said it right. It's so much better to race with a full field of cars than it is with 10 or 12. If you got a full field, yes, maybe you have a chance at missing the show. But I think that makes it better. It makes it better for the drivers. It makes it better for the fans.
Yeah.
So, all you can do is, cross your fingers. I'd be happy to see Blackrock get 20 street stocks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but, it very well could.
It could. We shall see. This coming Friday, opening night, Yates County Speedway. It's going to be the place to be. Starts at 7 o'clock. Let's go off to some other interviews that we had. We had a new face over at Yates County Speedway in an IMCA modified. That was Nicole Spalding, turning some laps over there. So let's get over to her interview. Pit side at Yates County Speedway. Seems like the rain is starting to lift just a little bit here. Had some time to catch up with a unfamiliar face here at Yates County, Nicole Spalding, driver of the 17 IMCA Modified. And Nicole, I see you've been out on the track already. How's things going so far?
It's going good. Better than last week.
Yeah. Is this the first time that you guys have been here? First time you've been on the track here in Dundee?
This is the first time I've been on the track. I've been here to watch my brother a few times.
I see the track is a little wet out there, kind of one lane for right now, but it seems like that might be okay for the test and tune night. How was the car running for you so far?
It's running good. Better. Once I get used to it, it'll be better for me, but...
Cool. And you guys looking to do a couple more sessions tonight as long as the weather holds out?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a few more in, get more practice.
All right, and we'll talk to Dad here. And, I know you were talking about her brother also races as well, and tell us a little bit about him as well.
Yeah, Jared races IMCA. This is his third year. He's up to I-88 racing tonight. He opted to go there to compete instead of come here for a shakedown, so that's where he's at.
And, obviously early on in the season, do you guys have any preliminary plans of where you guys like to run this year?
Saturday nights, 5 Mile Point. We race up there pretty much every Saturday. We haven't really made up our mind on a Friday night track. We just actually bought a brand new modified chassis that we're going to UMP race, so we'll be going. Last year we went to Eldora and North Carolina and McKean, so we're hoping to get back to them by the end of the year also.
Good deal. All right, well, that is Nicole Spalding and her father as well, and you guys can see these guys out at 5 Mile Point. Good to see them out here at Yates County Speedway. You're listening to Turn 5. Well, that was Nicole Spalding and her father, who was out there at the Test and Tune. It was nice to talk to them. Hopefully we'll see them out there on a semi-regular basis out of Yates County on Friday nights. Her brother, great IMCA modified competitor. They're going to do some traveling, as they've done in the past. We caught up with a couple of sportsman drivers also on Friday night. Got to talk to Chris Fisher and the Bully Hill Vineyards 37. And we got to talk to Brent Ayers, who we were going to try and catch up with over the winter, and time passed us by, and here we are at the Test and Tune night, and we got to talk to Brent about his 29 Sportsman, so let's get out to those two interviews.
Pit side again here as the rain continues to lightly fall here at Yates County Speedway. We're catching up with the driver of the number 37 Sportsman, Bully Hill Vineyards Wagner Restaurant back ride, Chris Fisher. And Chris, I heard you say, am I going back out there? What do you think so far?
I don't know. It's kind of sprinkling here, and all I really want to do is run the car anyhow, and I did that once. It'd be nice if the track straightened out a little bit, but I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, I think, it's fitting how Mother Nature has been playing cat and mouse with us all springtime here. You had the one session that you had kind of get things shaken down. Is there anything you can take from that session at all?
Not really. The track was sloppy in 1 and 2 and real heavy in 3 and 4, and just basically make sure the motor's okay and everything's running up to snuff.
Plans for this year? I know you guys usually run here on Friday nights. What are you guys' plans as far as where you're going to run?
I'm probably going to split time between here and Woodhull when Black Rock has their off weeks, or I guess it's Yates County now.
Yeah.
I'll go down to Woodhull on the off weeks.
Yeah. Any track between the two that you like better than the other?
Definitely Black Rock. Just something about it. It's where I started racing. I think it'll always be my favorite.
Yeah. It's definitely a home track for a lot of these guys around here. Good luck the rest of the night, and we'll see you here definitely next week for opening night.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys, that's Chris Fisher, driver of the 37 Sportsman, looking to see what the weather does here, see if we can get back out there and go racing. Pitside Yates County Speedway, catching up with the driver of the Sportsman, number 29, Brent Ayers. See, you got the old girl out there letting her stretch her legs out just a little bit.
Oh yeah, she's ready to go. We put a lot of work into it this winter, and got a lot of new parts. Got it ready to come back out here. We weren't quite sure what it was going to do when we come back out, but going out in that first session, she felt fast. So she's ready to rock and roll, I think, for next weekend.
Good deal. What kind of, without divulging all of your information, what kind of things you guys work on over the winter?
Basically just tires, kind of, switched over rims a little bit here and there, tried making everything a little bit, rim size lighter, stuff like that. Other than that, just the basics, the going over the car, greasing stuff, putting it back together. We changed out, got a little bit lighter rear end, put some aluminum tubes back on it instead of the steel, just basically trying to get everything lightened up a little bit.
Is there anything you guys can take from tonight as far as going forward with setup or anything like that, or is tonight more just a shakedown kind of night?
Tonight was more, just make sure everything was going to go out and function right. Basically we ain't going to get to see how the track's going to be because it's so wet and heavy out tonight, but next week, as long as we, if we get some sun next week during the week and the track dries up a little bit, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Looking forward to opening night. It's going to be a big night here.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I've been itching all. I went to Woodhull last week and watched racing and just made me want to get into it even more. So
that's the hardest thing to do, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially to go over there and watch your class run when they're running a 30-lap $1,000 to win race. And your car, all we had to do was put Nerf bars on it and go, but we didn't want to take the chance. We wanted to come down and practice first and get everything shaken down.
All right, man. Who do you got to thank for helping you guys get out here every week?
The biggest person I got to thank is my dad, because if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't be racing. He's the one that, puts all the money into it, puts in the long hours when I'm off playing softball and, trying to help my son out, do some stuff like that. And then Eric, my motor guy, and, my cousin, he plays a big role in it. Justin, Chi, my mom, my girlfriend, my son, everybody, everybody that's, helped. All my sponsors, Knapp and Schlappy, R&N Wood Contracting, Baker's Exterminating, TCP, Tri-County Remodelers. We had a few more than this year. We had a few more than last year.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I can't complain about that. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. I can't quite remember everything right now.
Well, that's always a good problem to have, and, even though the weather seems to have affected things here, I know these guys got out and got some valuable lap time, get their cars shaken down, and see what happens. So, going to be a big night here next Friday night on opening night. You're listening to Turn 5.
Penn Yan Electronics is the official Radio Shack dealer of the Turn 5 Racing Podcast. They're also the only Radio Shack dealer in the Penn Yan area. Visit them at 103 Main Street in beautiful downtown Penn for all of your electronics, cable, music, and cell phone needs. Visit Penn Electronics or give them a call, 315-536-7700. Penn Electronics. RaceChaserOnline.com is your home for news, views, and driver interviews. You can catch everything from F1 to IndyCar, NASCAR, short track, and dirt car. You can also find them on Speed 77 Radio Mondays on Shoutcast. Catch Motorsports Madness live at 7 p.m. and the Stock Car Steel SRI Motorsports Report Thursdays at 7 p.m. Race Chaser Online. Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ and photo booth of the Turn 5 Racing Podcast. If you need karaoke for your bar or party, or if you need the photo booth to create memories that'll last a lifetime, give Stu a call at 315-481-9700, or you can find him on Facebook, search Creekside Entertainment, or find him on the World Wide Web, www.creeksideentertainmentdj.com.
Your dirt track home for news, discussion, and driver interviews along with race results. You're listening to Turn 5.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Turn 5 Racing Podcast, brought to you by the official DJ and photo booth company of the Turn 5 Podcast, Creekside Entertainment. Also by Penn Electronics on Main Street in beautiful downtown Penn, and Race Chaser Online, Speed 77 Radio. Clint, we got one more interview, really to kind of cap off the night over there at Yates County Speedway. We got to talk with Dan Harpell, promoter at the Yates County Speedway. Had a lot of good things to say, so let's go over and hear what the man had to say after his first night at the controls.
Well, practice is over, as we've been mentioning all night. Mother Nature has definitely intervened tonight and kind of cut hot lap short, but guys still got out there and got a lot of good sessions in. We're over here, grandstand side, going to talk with Dan Harpell real quick. And Dan, I know there's been a lot going on already tonight, but how do we evaluate things so far?
Well, track, I'm real happy with the surface, but again, it was cloudy, and so there's a lot to be learned still there. But it was smooth and racy, and so that's good. So I'm happy with that. I got to meet a lot of my employees, which I haven't done before tonight. So that was good, and we've learned several things that we need to get done this week to be prepared for next week. And so overall, this was great. It was great to have a dress rehearsal, I guess, and just kind of get a feel for things. But it's a work in progress. It's not going to happen overnight, and we're going to try to put our best foot forward for opening night. And as we move forward, we're going to get better every week and get more and more organized. It's been 27 days or something since I started, officially, and it's insane how much has got to be done. It's great how much we've got done. I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish up to this point, and we got a lot more to do.
One change that happened this week, and I think symbolizes the change, is the new sign out front. And as soon as you pull in, it's just like you can tell there's a new era beginning here.
Well, that was really important to me to have that up here on time for practice, so everybody will see that and see that it is a new beginning, a new era, and we're going to things are going to be different here.
Just to kind of give the race fans a little perspective on some things that people that don't operate a racetrack wouldn't know about. What are a couple of examples of things that looking ahead to this coming week that you guys will be shoring up?
Oh, you got a couple hours? Because it's going to take that long. There's a million things. There's just simple things like having an employee list at the sign-in window and having a media list at the sign-in window, and a lot of little organizational things, having our tally sheets done for all the different booths, and our concessions we didn't open tonight. We just served pizza and soda in the pit, but all that, we're revamping a lot of things there. I was in meetings today with the food company trying to come up with our menu for next week for the season, and there's just so many things, and that's it's nothing is new, nothing is a surprise to me. It's just, if this was November, I'd feel a lot better about things.
Sure.
But this is almost May. We're ready to open, and there's just having such a short period of time to get ready. It's been just unbelievable, but we've accomplished a lot. There's a lot more to be done, and just little things, a lot of logistical things that I don't want the fans to be able to see or have to worry about. That's not their responsibility. Their responsibility is to come in and enjoy the show.
Yep.
And I am 1,000% confident with my ability to run a show. We will run a great show. But then I also have to be the guy in the concession stand making sure that that's running smooth and making sure everything's good in the pits and all, every aspect of it. So I spread myself around and get a handle on the operation as a whole, because as much as I would just love to come upstairs and run the show and bang, 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 get things done, I need to be in a lot of different places, so I'm going to be relying on the people that are working for me. So
yeah, you're going to be wearing a lot of hats for sure as a promoter. Walking around the pit area, talking to drivers tonight, so much positivity. I'm sure your phone hasn't settled down yet since the announcement. And as you had told us before, staggering those announcements and just has really built a lot of positive feedback going into the season.
Yeah, that's what we've tried to do, and yeah, it's been very positive. I'm really, really pleased with the excitement from people. Everywhere I go, I'm hearing good things. However, that's nice, and I'm the shiny new penny, but I got to produce, and I got to put on a good show to keep people that optimistic and excited, and I'm totally confident we'll do that, and it's just, and I hope people bear with us as we go through our little bumps and bruises along the way to get things organized, and we'll get there, and I promise we'll put on a great show. But, I go through town. I have people I don't know are coming up to me and introducing themselves and, appreciate that I'm here. So that, that's nice. That feels good to see that I've got that support. And so I don't want to let anybody down. I want to keep everybody positive.
Well, if there's one thing that this area loves, it's their race cars and their track here. So looking forward to coming back next week for opening night. And YatesCountySpeedway.com is the website where everybody can find information, as I understand it.
Yep, YatesCountySpeedway.com, and also our Facebook page. And Steve Kellogg's been doing a good job keeping people informed through Area Auto. He's been kind of a unofficial mouthpiece for me, official unofficial mouthpiece for me, but he's helped a lot, and I've had a lot of help from a lot of people, and I want everyone to understand that Dean has been a tremendous help to me, and he's without the help that he's shown me around town, he's guided me in the right direction with potential sponsors, things like that, showing me around the facility. He wants this to succeed. He wants it to succeed. He wants me to succeed, and so I want people to understand this is my business. It's my operation. It's not Dean's. However, he's been great to help me, get me going here. So that's a good thing. I want everyone to understand that I really appreciate his help.
Absolutely. Next Friday night, May 2nd, going to be the season opener here at Yates County Speedway. We've got the CRSA 305 sprints and first full point show for all the divisions here. Anything else that we can talk about at this point?
Well, opening night will be exciting, and the CRSA, if you haven't seen them, they put on a great show. That Mike Van Dusen, he's a former sprint car driver, former modified driver. It's his group, and they do a great job, and they'll put on a dynamite show, no question about it. And I guess the next thing to talk about is the Race of Champions Modified Series event, because that'll be that's our second event, you know. So Tuesday, May 13th, that as you know, just came together. We were really to a point where we weren't going to do one because there just wasn't any dates. And then we got thinking about it, and, why not try something in May? And right now, the guys are all fresh. Their equipment's fresh. They're all up there in the points. They're not. You get to August, guys are tired. Their equipment's tired. Money's tight. They're out of the point battle. You got a much better chance of guys coming and being here early in the season like that. So we're going to do it. And I know my brother was at Bridgeport last week for the ROC race, and he had a lot of feedback. I know Rick Laubach's coming. He's never been here. Ryan Godown is planning on being here. He put on a show here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But he blew a motor at Bridgeport, so I'm not sure what he's going to have together. But he's planning on following the whole series, and and Stuart Friesen and Matt Shepard, and so it's going to be a
star-studded
field.
Yeah,
it's going to be great. And and people may get to see some guys they've never seen before, like a Rick Laubach, and he's a great racer. But he does most of his racing in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, so that'll be one of the rare sights for people to see.
Good deal. Well, again, YatesCountySpeedway.com to find all that information, and we'll be here covering all the action next Friday night here at Yates County Speedway. You're listening to Race Chaser Online and the Turn 5 podcast.
There you go, Clint. Dan Harpell, promoter from the Yates County Speedway. Going to be an exciting night this coming Friday. Things went well. He got to learn a little bit about his staff, about the track. Going to be a whale of a show out there this week. Can't wait to get out there.
Oh, I can't wait. I said it before, the buzz around the racetrack, it's amazing. I love it. The 305 Sprint Car Tour is going to be there on opening night, so the track's going to have to be good.
Oh, yeah. CRSA Sprint Cars, as well as a regular show of Crate Sportsman, 602 Sportsman Spirits, BRP Crate Late Models, IMCA Modifieds, Greg's Auto Body Street Stocks 500 to win, 4-cylinder stocks, and the 4-cylinder Bandits. Going to be a great show there. Saturday night over at the Woodhull. Don't forget, at the Woodhull Raceway, don't forget 35-lap street stock affair there at New York's toughest bull ring. Canandaigua Motorsports Park on Saturday. They will be running a regular show along with the this is the Sprintacular #1 with the Patriot Sprint Tour. So you're going to get Patriot Sprints, Big Block Modified, Sportsman's, 305 Sprints, Pro Street Stocks, Pure Stocks, and the new Legend Sportsman. Also, they're going to have the March of Dimes, March for Babies, Past the Helmet night out there at Canandaigua. Should be a great show for there. We just talked about the Patriot Sprints, Empire Super Sprints. Sunday, May 4th, out at the Mohawk International Raceway, $2,000 to win for the Atomic Spring Clash weekend. That is the event there, co-promoted by ESS and the Go Nuclear Late Models. Clint, let's get over to our NASCAR picks, and not such a good week for Clint in the NASCAR picks.
No, but I don't think I lost a whole lot, because I don't think with the knockout qualifying points, I think it was kind of a stalemate, I think.
Yeah, you actually ended up not too bad there. You had Clint Boyer, as you were calling him,
who I knew once he took out once him and Kyle Larson had contact. I won't say he took him out because it was a racing deal. But I knew that there was bad mojo coming his way.
Oh yeah,
so
not a good thing.
But I didn't watch the race much of it because I was watching the World of Outlaws. So I didn't even know what I saw. He was last, but I didn't see what happened.
Yeah. Well, with that, I only gained a point on you, and I didn't gain anything on Brad because he had second place with Kevin Harvick, so he got 2 points and a point for knockout qualifying. So you'll still have a 2-point lead headed to Talladega. And
the big unknown.
The big unknown. And honestly, throw the dice. I mean, I don't know who to pick, but you're going to get first pick.
I haven't even thought about it. I think that I am going to go with somebody that's due. I was talking to my dad a little bit about it yesterday. I'm going to go with the old man, Jeff Gordon.
Going with Jeff Gordon. That was going to be Brad's first pick. He's not with us tonight, but he did send us our picks. Being that Clint goes with Jeff Gordon, Brad is now going to take Dale Earnhardt Jr. Taking Jr. to get to victory lane on Sunday. And I, after taking the win this week, will get third pick. And, boy, it's tough. You really could go with anybody here. But I'm going to go with a guy who really had something for Jr. at Daytona, and I really feel like just kind of ran out of laps and didn't have the help he needed. I'm going to go with Brad Keselowski at Talladega this week. Those are our NASCAR picks for the week.
Brad Keselowski.
Brad Keselowski.
No, and I'm not saying it because of the pick. I'm just thinking of how mad he got at Matt Kenseth for nothing. Matt Kenseth didn't do anything wrong.
Hey, at least he didn't punch somebody.
He got him good.
That's good. It's good for ratings. Hey, you guys have a good time out at the racetrack this week. Make sure to take a kid with you out to the races. We'll be out at Yates County Speedway Friday night, getting all the interviews and all the coverage for opening night. Don't forget Woodhull, Canandaigua, Empire Super Sprints out at Mohawk, and all of the racetracks around 5 Mile Point, Thunder Mountain, the closest one to you. Make sure you get out and support them. For Clint and Brad, I'm Steve with the Turn 5 Racing Podcast. Thank you for tuning in on iTunes, YouTube, and Podbean.com. Until next week,
take a kid to the races. You're listening
to Turn 5.